Hello, this is David Geckel from Baltimore, Maryland, and I'm a Leeds United fan. And we're back, bitches, and we're never fucking leaving.
Careful.
And you're listening to the DU Football Show.
Well, you know, they did get 100 points.
They did.
And so did Burnley, also getting 100 points.
They did, and becoming the greatest defense in English Football League history.
You know, and yet somehow we have this sinking feeling they're going to fuck it off, right?
Oh, definitely.
Let's start the show.
100%.
Born in the land of Bowie, Maryland. Bred to be a fan of fucking Everton. Punch you in the eye and drink your rye. Sam Houston.
Sam Houston?
Arsenal fans have another Sam. AKA the fucking Gooner Graham. Stump of a lord. Look straight in shorts. Sam Grammy.
Sam Graham.
Fucking United! Fucking United!
Hello and welcome to DU Does EFL, a completely biased brief recap of the rest of English football as told by two common American schmucks. I am your host, Sam Houston, and over there, sweating with the jacket on, my co-host, Mr. Samuel Graham. How you doing, good sir?
Doing all right. Doing all right.
Good.
It is one of those weird nights, though.
Yeah, it is very weird night.
Yeah. We, for those of you that aren't near us, we have a little bit of rain going around the DMV at the moment. It's a bit gray today. When the sun went down, dropped to about 65, which in and of itself is fine and comfortable. But the rain that is coming down are very cold raindrops. And then you get that little bit of a breeze because of the storm. So then you're fucking cold all the time. So then you dress appropriately. And the second you get enough distance away from your house, rain stops. And it's just humid as fuck. And now you're way overdressed.
Welcome to Maryland weather. And, of course, on the ones and twos, Producer Mel. How you doing over there, Producer Mel?
Trying to catch up on 2 weeks of fantasy games.
Very good. All right. Well,
oh my God. Sure Billy wants to know, can Burnley even come close to the same kind of defensive record again? The Prem, and Graham gets an RT2 reference. Yay.
That's a good one. The thing is going to be
because it came out beforehand, yes, but it's a cultural icon. Come on.
It's going to be hard for them to do again when they're going to lose their goalkeeper and both of their fucking center backs.
Yeah, and Scott Parker has already proved 3 times he can't do it in the Premier League.
Yeah, so I assume
yeah,
no
but he
goes
looks
so
good while he doesn't do it.
Listen, Brett's going to need to throw a lot of prayers up.
We're recording at the DU Public House just outside the nation's capital. You can check us out wherever you get your podcasts. And, of course, streaming live every single Monday night. Should you want to chat with us, there is many ways that you can. Mr. Graham, tell the good people how they can get in touch.
Absolutely. It's at DU Football Show on all the social medias and dufootballshow@gmail.com to get in touch via email.
Excellent. And for those of you who do not trust our judgment, completely fucking entirely off, we are not drinking the exact same thing we drank in the last show because it is Cinco de Mayo. We do fucking know this, and we do have a good sense. We are actually drinking a little something different. We are enjoying the Tears of La Rona. This is an extra añejo. This happens to be one of the most sought-after extra añejos in the market just because it's really, really hard to come
And
by.
one of my favorite brown liquors.
This extra añejo is aged 8 years. And it is finished in 3 separate barrels. It is finished in sherry barrels, Scotch barrels, and brandy barrels. And it is bloody motherfucking delightful. On the shelf, if you can find it, I want to say is like $3.99.
Burns the eyes, not your mouth.
Yeah, $3.99 a bottle. I want to say it is.
$3.99, like $399.
Yeah.
Oof.
If you can find it.
Right.
There's very limited release every year. They're very hard to come by.
So, do you know about La Llorona? Do you know what that is?
La Llorona.
Nope.
It's a witch.
Sure isn't. Kinda.
Yeah.
So she is the vengeful ghost of a woman that drowned her children in a body of water. due to her husband's unfaithfulness, and a fit of jealous rage drowned her kids as a way to get back to him.
You know, there's at least 3 cultures that have a ghost story like that.
Mm-hmm.
And now she wanders.
And then our culture, which has that in fucking reality.
Hey, look.
Now she wanders weepingly by bodies of water in Mexico, going, "Have you seen my babies? Have you seen my babies?" Basically.
Meanwhile, Casey Anthony goes, "Have you seen my shots? Have you seen my shots?"
And then potentially kill your kids too.
Yeah. Yep.
Because she doesn't have hers and she can't just leave nice things be. And I found that out actually well before I knew what this was called. And so when you said that, I said, "Oh shit!" I Googled it to make sure I got the story right.
Right.
But yeah, I've heard of this this urban legend prior to you saying it, which is pretty good.
What I love is you very much get the brandy nose. It very much has that.
It does have that
sweet
big,
grape,
sweet
nose,
rustic.
but you get kind of that Scotch brininess in the flavor, and it finishes very dry like a sherry. Really wild.
Whoa.
Did you make a face?
No, that's crazy.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on there.
There is a shit ton going on there.
It is. It's brandy and agave sweetness up front. Mm-hmm. There's a ton of wood. Mm-hmm. When I say rustic is a nice way of saying dusty.
Yes.
Because most people say dusty sounds like a bad trait.
Right. So you
not
say
necessarily.
rustic.
So you say rustic. It tastes like it's been in a basement, but it's not astringent. It's a good thing.
Yeah.
And you get that off the brandy, 100% off the brandy. The easiest expression of it I've seen out there, if you want to go try an Armagnac, that is the rusticness, the dustiness that I'm talking about. I get that heavily off of pretty much every Armagnac I've ever had. But brandy has the best chance of having that sort of rustic idea. That is fucking bonkers.
Mm-hmm. And you get that salinity of a Scotch, even a little bit of peat to it as well. And that finishes all sherry. That's an all finish sherry.
And super dry.
Yeah.
That's wild, man.
Producer Mel, sorry to interrupt you one last time. Just wanted to get your thoughts because you like tequila.
I very much enjoyed this one. There's a lot going on. Every time I take a sip, I find something new in it.
Yeah.
And some of it's really hard to pin down. The sherry finish, I didn't know how to quite put that into words, but yeah, I get that.
Yeah, you get that really kind of bone dry mouth feel thing that comes with a sherry.
For sure.
Big time.
I want to next week I'm going to bring it in Monday. I've got and we'll probably do it on EFL. I've got a new brand to us. Came over from Winebow called J. Rieger. You ever heard of this brand?
Oh yeah, I know Rieger.
Yeah,
very
so
well.
they do
Kansas City whiskey. Yeah.
Yes, and that's not a thing that I knew existed.
Yeah.
And I know a lot about booze. So where most whiskeys will age in a barrel that previously contained port or sherry, in Kansas City, they're actually pouring fucking sherry into the whiskey.
Yeah, just a little bit. Yep.
So I'm very interested to see your actual take on that particular thing.
I have had the whiskey. I know it well. It is that's one of the many things Dave Pickerel had his fingertips in.
Yep.
Oh, it's phenomenal. You have to treat it for what it is. It's not what you think of an American whiskey.
Correct.
It's very different in that regards, but it's also very fucking good.
Yeah, it's wild. It's what sets that brand apart from other brands.
Yeah.
Period.
Oh, absolutely.
Because the bourbon and the rye are good, but they're meh.
Yeah.
And you're looking bourbon and rye. You're looking about $32.99 on the shelf. The Kansas City whiskey is $39.99.
Yeah.
Like it's intense. It's pretty wild. I actually, you know what's? I'd wonder if Taylor's seen that or heard of that around living in that part of the world.
Oh, I'm sure he probably has seen it before. But
yeah.
And like I said, with the Tears of Lorona, it is a 1 liter bottle. And it does have
so
like a
more bang for your $400.
But it is a strong if you can find it.
Right. Oh yeah.
It's one of those holy grail kind of ones.
This isn't your normal fucking allocated shit. This isn't your Class A Azul where every store gets 2 bottles.
Yeah, it ain't like that.
This shit ain't around.
It just isn't. And they don't even really have a lower brand for
A lower tier.
Yeah, so it's kind of like it's even held more by the distributor as a gatekeeper. Like, how many 20 case drops of wine are you doing for me to get a couple of bottles of this stuff? Because they only get maybe all of. I remember when it was with Bacchus, I think 30 bottles came to market, and that was between Delaware, DC, and Maryland.
86 proof on it, by the way.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And I love how they don't change shit about it for the American market either. Everything's in Spanish.
Yep, all in Spanish.
Fucking do your research or fuck off.
Yep, go to the website. They'll tell you everything you need to know about it. But other than that, yeah, it's delightful. And I thought that would be really, really fun to do for Cinco de Mayo. I was thinking about doing a mezcal originally, like doing just one of the fun ass mezcals I got, but I saw that in the back and I was like, oh yeah, let's break out this bad boy.
What a way to celebrate Mexican Christmas. That is awesome.
All right, let's get into it, kids.
Isn't that what Cinco de Mayo is, right? See, these are nice. Like, they're still heavy, but they're a little thinner, so they do a nice clink.
Mm-hmm. So, Leeds have won the championship on goal differential over Burnley. Both, as mentioned, 100 points for the year. And
that's the only thing that separates it from being an unenthusiastic hand job.
Yeah, yeah.
The goal differential winning is like, oh, were you that good? Do you actually deserve it?
Well,
but both of you getting 100 points, abso-fucking-lutely you do.
And taking nothing away from Leeds, because you have to get the goal differential and everything. But then you look at Burnley, they gave up 16 goals in 44 matches.
It's wild.
They gave up 16 goals. Leeds did really good at giving up 30. And it's almost like goal differential, the better goal differential, of course, wins the league. But then you look at that and you go, for fuck's sakes, they got 100 points and they gave up 16 goals. Like, in any other world, they win the fucking league.
That's what, 46 games in a season, right?
46.
So 2014.
Yeah.
So 16 divided by 46, for anybody wanting to keep track at home, is 0.347826087. So they gave up less, roughly, it's not less, excuse me. I misspoke there. Not less. It's actually just creeping to over a third of 1 goal per game.
Yeah.
A third of 1 goal per game.
Fucking insane.
So every 3 games, there was a goal on the board for the opposition. That's fucking wild. You said Leeds was 30?
Yeah.
30 divided by 46 is also very fucking good at 2/3 of 1 goal per game. 0.652173913. That is remarkable. It's too bad that the Premier League doesn't operate like that. And y'all are going to find it very tough, as Daniel Farke has also proved, not just Scott Parker, that he's not so good at the Premier League topics.
Also worth mentioning for the Premier League, like, the best team for goals against was Liverpool on 30. And the top 5, like, the 5th is Everton at 41.
Right.
Like, again, Leeds and Burnley had less goals against. Like, both of them on their own would be completely like, this team should have won the league, right? Much like how we talked about last year, how, like, Leicester should have won the league. You could have made an argument that Ipswich should have won the league. You could have made an argument that Leeds should have won the league. You could have made an argument that Southampton should have won the league. Like, those 4 teams were so fucking good.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
You're absolutely correct. And it's just, it's so insane. 16 fucking goals.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you know, I said this, I don't know if I said it out loud or if I just said it to you on the phone, like in a pre show meeting, that Leicester not scoring at home in 9 straight games is a remarkable feat. It's really hard not to do. It's like that. If you go play Keno and you play a 10 spot and you don't get a single number, they pay you for that.
Right.
Because it's really hard not to get a single number.
Right. Exactly.
So Leicester, by fluke, by accident, by the shit that happened in the Liverpool game with the defender clearing it off his own
Should
player.
have gotten a goal.
Something should have happened in 9 games where you scored.
Yep.
Especially at home.
Yep.
A penalty, anything. So to only give up 16 over the course of a season is in a 24-team season, a league season, is just fucking incredible. It's absolutely incredible. And good luck next season when you're relegated because your squad's going to get picked off like fucking vultures.
Oh, yeah.
Y'all are going to be rich, but you're going straight back down.
Coventry beat Borough to jump over Bristol City, but Bristol City drew, which was enough for both of them to still secure playoff spots. Yep. So we go into the Blades and Bristol play each other on Monday, and Sunderland and Coventry play each other on Tuesday.
Nice. We should also mention real quick for Frank Lampard, when he took over, they were either just outside of the relegation zone or just inside the relegation zone.
Yeah,
I can't remember.
Right there in it.
And the form that he's been on, this new era Neil Warnock, the one guy that knows how to get out of this league, went on a run of form that saw them fly up the table and now are in the championship spots. Or in the playoff spots rather.
The only thing I wonder
that's fucking crazy
for both of those teams is both of those teams this season, particularly under Frank for Coventry, but also for Bristol, did dog shit against the teams above them.
Yeah.
So that's concerning going into the playoffs. But both
for
of them,
Coventry, you mean?
For Coventry, yeah, because Coventry...
Not necessarily, and I'll tell you why, because I heard this wild stat today.
Okay.
There are 2 teams that have outright lost their last 5 games in English League football across the 92.
Mm-hmm.
It is Morecambe, who finished in dead last of League 2,
mm-hmm.
and it is Sunderland.
Wow, okay.
They are on one of the shittest run of forms they've had this season, period, going into the 2 most important games they will play, besides the 3rd most important game if they get through these
final.
2.
Yeah. Fair. Yep. Now, to the bottom of the table, Hull drew Pompey. Now, they were beating Pompey most of the game, but Pompey got a goal at the end.
Surprisingly, because Pompey had fuck all to play for.
Right. Well, it was at Pompey, too, so everybody's celebrating.
Yeah,
and shit,
fair.
probably singing Bring On the Saints and shit like that.
Oh,
right?
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, they're fucking having a big old party.
Let's go across the harbor.
But coupled with Luton losing 5-3 at West Brom, who had nothing to play for. All Luton had to do was get a fucking point. That's all they had to do was get a point. And by the way, they were down 4-1 at one point. And that sends the Hatters down on goal differential and making them the 4th club ever to see demotions from the Premier League and the Championship in back-to-back years.
Damn, that's tough. You know, I'm not sure how they've managed their one season of Premier League funds, but you have to imagine that just the finances alone should see them come out of League One fairly easily.
You hope.
But the way they fucked this season off, who knows? We said it about them when they were in the Premier League. I mean, like you said, they were down 4-1, ended up losing 5-3. They've got to show some discipline.
But here's the thing with
some
League
capacity.
One. We'll get on to what's going on with Reading, but Reading didn't make it into the playoffs. Huddersfield didn't make it into the playoffs. Bolton has been rising, and only one of Wickham, Stockport, Charlton, or the O's is going to go up, right? Wickham is a team that's always in and around the top of the of League One and occasionally goes up to the championship. Charlton is a yo-yo club between those 2 leagues. And Stockport, everybody talks about Wrexham. Stockport has done the same kind of meteoric rise that...
Yeah, but they don't have 2 Hollywood actors.
Right. And not for nothing, they won League 2 last year over Wrexham.
Yeah.
So, like,
they just don't know the story.
So not for nothing, those 4 teams are really good, and then you couple that with the Readings and Huddersfields and Boltons of the world.
Yeah, but
it ain't going to be that easy for Luton.
But look at the drop off, right? Especially financially, the drop off between the Premier League and the Championship we've already seen.
Yeah,
2 years in a row, first time it's ever happened. 2 years in a row, all 3 promoted clubs are the same 3 going down, right? Which is a problem, right? That shows the golf in class. That's an issue. and it shows that the gap is getting bigger, right? Look at the championship in League One. You're talking about your entire fiscal operating budget of maybe 20 to 25 million, maybe 30 million max. You have to spend probably 35 million in players to be able to challenge to get up to the championship. And this is where you go bankrupt. So you have to double your operating budget on a mediocre TV deal and relying solely really on people coming out.
Yeah.
It's where people like Dai Young go wrong, right? We've seen that. Birmingham City have just completed the highest point total in world football, period, in a single league season.
111, right?
111. And but they were Premier League for a few seasons. They yo-yoed a couple times. Went down to the championship and were stalwarts for a few seasons, right? Mid-table to playoff sort of area for a while. Get relegated, and these clubs, traditional League One clubs that have been in that league, that mid-table for ages, couldn't even come fucking close.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm.
Wrexham with the Hollywood money couldn't come close.
But that's what you worry about, is what I'm saying, right? So you could see Luton, if they get the manager correct and they hold on to a couple of players at the spine of their team, they could roll League One next season, and then you see that golf continue to grow. Yeah. You see that golf, it gets absolutely huge.
The O's are in the playoffs as they won and Reading lost. But the big thing is Dai Young will no longer be the owner of Reading Football Club. There has been an agreement made, which that will be massive for them. And they are, as you spoke about, one of those kind of clubs that, because they were stalwarts in the championship, they have the coffers. They'll be able to figure it out.
Well, they should have done, but Dai Young seems to have cleaned everything out before he left.
Well, I think the ownership group that comes in next will probably
have money. Yeah, absolutely.
And will take care of that.
And, if any owner could be equated, we did this a long time ago with managers, equated to booze, Dai Young is a flaming shot of Sambuca. Just a piece of shit.
Yep.
That's only there to singe your eyebrows and cause disappointment.
We had a name for that in the nightclubs back in the day, which you can't use. I would say you probably can't use anymore.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. I'll tell you it off mic. So anyways, the O's are hosting Stockport on Saturday, and Wickham will be hosting Charlton on Sunday. And the big one down at the bottom of the league, Burton Albion had a game in hand, which they drew in the midweek, making it null and void for the final game of the season. Crawley and Bristol were going down no matter what. Burton Albion was safe on Tuesday.
Yeah, it's... I'll gladly pay you Tuesday for safety today. That's an old reference, Smokey. Go fuck yourself. Hope you got that one, young buck. I'm sure he has seen Harlem Nights. Oh, I named the movie too, bitch.
I would also just say that was...
That's Harlem Nights.
That's Popeye.
Pie.
What?
Yeah.
I'd gladly pay you Tuesday for a lap dance today. That's Harlem Nights.
No, but they're making fun of Popeye. I'll gladly pay you Tuesday for a cheeseburger today.
Yeah, right. But the line I said was from Harlem Nights.
Yeah,
Eddie Murphy.
but you thought that was an original line.
I didn't say I thought it was an
original.
original. I said the line that I used was from that day. Potato.
Let's get to League Two.
Sometimes the remakes are better.
Let's get to League Two, where the
Also, by the way.
Dons have won the league.
But first, we have to say we support the O's wholeheartedly in their playoff push.
Oh yeah, big
All right,
time.
now move on.
Yeah. If it's not going to be the O's, let it be Stockport, just because
somebody
their
we haven't
meteoric
really
rise.
seen a lot. Yeah,
I would like to see that.
100%.
Dons have won League Two. Port fucking Vale came in second. Bradford
That's
City.
amazing to me.
Bradford City got the third spot, so those are all getting automatic promotion. Wassel are the top seed of the playoffs, and they finally got a win. They won the final game of the season, but it didn't matter because Bradford City got a draw, and that propelled them into third place.
Let me ask you a question real quick. Who was the fan supporting when he was making fun of Port fucking Vale from the stands?
Don, an MK Don.
It was MK Don's, was it?
Yeah.
So, I mean, really, by their own standards, this is a meteoric rise as well for Port fucking Vale.
For Port fucking Vale.
And MK Dons can fuck off anyway.
Uh-huh. exactly, because we don't like them.
No, we don't like them at all because of the manner in which they left Wimbledon and their owner leaving that area in shambles.
Chesterfield beat Aki to jump over Salford,
Good.
who drew already relegated out of the professional league Carlisle to take the final playoff spot.
Nice.
So-
So I don't mind this because I really don't like Salford City. I think isn't like Paul Scholes part owner in Salford City?
Yeah, they were a team that's only been around since the 90s. And
Right.
they basically bought a club and made a club in a city that they just pumped a bunch of money into and shot them right up the league quickly.
Yeah, and it's a bunch of the old United boys, I think, that are in on that project. Part of the whole class of 92. But the weird bit is Paul Scholes bites his daughter's toenails, and that's common knowledge amongst a lot of people, and I just can't be having that.
No, that's kind of
That's
wrong.
gross.
I don't like that.
It's weird.
We have Notts will host Wimbledon on Saturday, and Chesterfield will host Wassel on Sunday.
Now, what we need, though, is the real AFC Wimbledon, who MK Don is from Wimbledon. They left Wimbledon and left the area, the stadium, everything else in tatters, moved to Milton Keynes, stole the club, essentially.
Yep.
And then a fan-funded kind of thing popped up in its spot. I don't know if I have the story entirely correctly, but that's the nuts and bolts of that. And we want AFC Wimbledon to do well because that is the club of the people of Wimbledon, period.
Absolutely. That's pretty much who I'm rooting for. I don't feel like Wassel deserves to get the promotion, especially considering they had that 12-point lead in February and then completely fucked it off.
No, and fuck Salford as well.
And in the National League, Barnet have already gained promotion. Now, they have changed how they do things.
Great. Perfect.
Top seed.
Just what we need.
Top seed gets automatic promotion.
Okay.
Second and third get a bye of the playoff from the first round of the playoffs.
Okay.
Fourth place, seventh, fifth place, sixth. The winners play second and third in the semifinals. Then those winners play each other in the final.
I kind of like
The
that.
idea is to give more teams an opportunity because only 2 teams get
You
promoted.
fall asleep there.
Yeah. So that is
That's how exciting this chat is.
that is
Fucking exhilarating.
why they changed it, and I think that's fair. I don't disagree with only 2 teams going down out of League 2.
No, not me
I
either.
think it should be hard, like it should
To get into the league, absolutely.
it should be
100%.
very hard to get into the league. And if you go down, you have to face the toils
so-
of being in the National League.
There, to not further create more gulfs, there should be a route into the league and a fairly attainable route.
Yeah.
But it should also be special to be in league football and be a proper professional club.
If you overextend yourself and you overspend and you get into 7th place, you used to not even get an opportunity. It was basically second played 5th, third played 4th, and
And that
everybody
was
else
it.
could
Yeah,
fuck off.
right. No, exactly.
So this way, at least you have
More
a
clubs
chance
are included. Yes.
to win and advance, which
Also,
is
love
fair.
this happens right after 2 Americans come in and change the whole thing. Like that a
Very
lot.
true. All right, that's going to wrap it up, Mr. Graham. Any parting words?
I do not have any parting words, although, well, except for rather that it was another exhilarating season in the English Football League. A lot of very cool stuff happened as we just went over, and very, very fucking excited to see what the lower leagues have to offer us next season.
Yep. And next week, there will not be an EFL show. We're going to wait till after the playoffs are done.
Yeah,
And
and
then
then
we
we'll
will-
also have the FA Cup final will be included in the EFL show as well, which I'm not even sure the date, to be honest with you, at the moment. Is the FA Cup final's on my birthday, isn't it?
17th, yep.
Yeah.
And then the 18th, there's games. And then the following week, there is the finals.
Carly, so we're going out to dinner the night before on the 16th. Carly said, she was like, what do you want for your birthday lunch? I'm not doing anything like crazy, but what do you
Right.
want for your, I said, I don't know. Maybe I'll just say the last little bit of football.
Yeah. Just give me a little football.
Little FA Cup final.
That's all I need. Thank you very much.
Little as a penalty to win it.
Love it. All right, everybody.
mind that.
Next up is injury time, where we're going to go over the beers we've been drinking, talk about fantasy, check in on our adopted club, and of course, preview the weekend's action. Mr. Graham, should somebody want to go, how about doing that? How do they do that? Yeah, I got through it.
All right.
It wasn't good, but but
All right,
what I
Fred
did was
Flintstone, hold on, I'll tell you.
I fought my way through that asshole.
You habba-dabba-do your way over to patreon.com/Team Football Show. Sign up to that $5 tier, and you can get all the brontosaurus you want, my friend.
Gus, why you make the fire so big? We're not eating brother sauce burgers. We're eating burgers and Franks. Look at Charlie over there with third-degree burns eating a Frank. Because you make the fire too big, Gus. You make the fire too big. Until next week, everybody.
Born in the land of Bowie, Maryland. Bred to be a fan of fucking Everton. Punch you in the eye and drink your rye. Sam Houston.
Sam Houston.
Arsenal fans have another Sam. AKA the fucking Gooner Graham. Smells of my lord. Looks great in shorts. Sam Graham, hey.
Sam Graham.
Don't you get